Monsters are stuff of legend, lurking not just in the depths of the oceans, but also the darker corners of our minds. What is it that draws us to these creatures? This inhuman place makes human monsters, wrote Stephen King in his novel The Shining. Many academics agree that monsters lurk in the deepest recesses. They prowl through our ancestral minds, appearing in the half light under the bed or at the bottom of the sea. They don't really exist, but they play a huge role in our mindscapes, in our dreams, stories, nightmares, myths, or so on, says Matthias Klassen, assistant professor of literature and media of Aarhus University in Denmark, who studies monsters in literature. Monsters say something about human psychology, not the world. One Norse legend talks of the Kraken, a deep sea creature that was the curse of fishermen. If sailors found a place with many fish, most likely it was the monster that was driving them to the surface. If it saw the ship, it would pluck the hapless sailors from the boat and drag them to water a grave. This terrifying legend occupies the mind and pen of pen of the poet Alfred Lord Tennyson too. In his short 1830 poem, The Kraken, he wrote, "Below the thunders of the upper deep, far, far beneath in the abysmal sea, abysmal, his ancient, dreamless, and uninvaded sleep, the Kraken sleeps. The deeper they travel in the ocean, the deeper we delve into our own psyche. And when we when we can go no further, there lurks the there lurks the Kraken." Most likely, the Kraken is based on a real creature, the giant squid. The huge mollusk takes pride of the place as a personification of the terrors of the deep sea. Sailors would have encountered it at the surface, dying and probably thrashing up about. It would have made a weird sight about the most alien you think can imagine, says Edith Wither, CEO at the Ocean Research and Conservation Association. It has 8 lashing arms and 2 slashing tentacles growing straight out of its head, and it's got serrated suckers that can latch on the slimmest of prey, and it's got a parrot beak and rib flesh. It's got an eye the size of your head. It's got a jet propulsion system and 3 hearts that pump blue blood. The giant squid continued to dominate stories of sea monsters with the famous 1870 novel 20,000 Thousand Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. Verne's submarine fantasy is a classic story of Paniman against a gigantic squid. The monster needed no embellishment. This creature was scary enough, and Verne incorporated as much fact as possible into the story, says Emily Alder from Edinburgh Napier University. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and another contemporaneous book. Victor Hugo's Tailor of the Sea both hired to represent the giant squid as they might have been actual zoological animals, much more taking the squid as a biological creature than a mythical creature. It was a given that the squid was vicious and would readily attack humans given the chance. That myth wasn't busted until 2012. when editor Wither, Edith Wither, and her colleagues were the first people to successfully film giant squid underwater and see firsthand of the true character of the monster of the deep. They realized previous attempts to film squid had failed because the bright lights and noisy thrusters on submersibles had frightened them away. By quietening down the engines and using bio lumin bioluminescence 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 using bioluminescence to attract it, they managed to see this most extraordinary animal in its natural habitat. It serenely glided into view, its body rippled with metallic colors of bronze and silver. Its huge, um, intelligent eye watched the submarine warily as it delicately picked at the bait with its beak. It was balletic and mesmeric. It could not have been further from the gnashing, human destroying creature of myths and literature. In reality, he's a gentle giant that's easily scared and pecks as its food. Another giant squid lies peacefully in the Natural History Museum in London, in the spirit room where it is preserved in a huge glass case. In 2004, it was caught in a fishing net off the Falkland Island and died at the surface. The crew immediately froze its body and it was sent to be preserved in the museum by the creator of mollusks, John Ablett. It is called Archie, an affectionate short version of its Latin name Archaeopteryx dux. It is the longest preserved specimen of a giant squid in the world. It really has brought science to life for many people, says Ablett. Sometimes I feel a bit overshadowed by Archie, but most of my work is on slugs and snails, but unfortunately most people don't want to talk about that. And so today we can watch Archie's graceful relative on film and stare Archie herself, she's a female, eye to eye in a museum. But have we finally slain the monster of the deep? Now we know there is nothing to be afraid of. Can the Kraken finally be laid to rest? Probably not, says Klassen. We humans are afraid of the strangest things. They don't need to be realistic. There is no indication that enlightenment and scientific progress has banished the monsters from the shadows of imaginations. We will continue to be afraid of very strange things, including probably sea monsters. Indeed, we are. The Kraken made a fearsome appearance in the blockbuster series Pirates of the Caribbean. I forced Captain Jack Sparrow to face his demons in a terrifying face to face encounter. Pirates needed the monstrous Kraken, nothing else would do. Or, as a German film director Werner Herzog put it, what would an ocean be without a monster lurking in the dark? It would be a sleep without dreams. Okay, thank you. That's it for today. Ciao, ciao.